Hello, Mr. Dauda Umar, editor of ZongoNews Radio. You had a discussion this morning from the G7 Summit in Hamburg. And I understand you had several feedbacks from the people. What were some of the feedbacks?
I think there were lots of positive feedback around the world for what we do and how ZongoNews also is trying to promote the African and the world activity here, and the way we plan also to help the youth, especially not only in Africa, also those in diaspora, and also the business of Africa here. So we had a lot of feedback from America, Asia, around the world. And people want to hear more also about the activity that is happening here. So we discussed also with our international partners and colleagues who said, okay, do you want to meet us tomorrow? Because tomorrow is African Day. Because there will be a lot of issues about Africa.
Yeah, tomorrow is Africa Day. Tomorrow is, the theme tomorrow is Partnership with Africa, Migration and Health. How is ZongoNews Radio going to cover this event tomorrow?
I think we discussed with the authorities and we let them know that ZongoNews is the only media house here to give the Africans more information here, to update them.
That is tomorrow, that is ZongoNews is going to give the African perspective from tomorrow.
That's it, tomorrow. So most of African media houses will try to get their news or information from ZongoNews. And they call us, they talk to us. We should try to do our best so that they can also get the news and also update the people back home. So we will do our best to get them that news. I think we already arranged it for tomorrow, so they will get it back.
I see. So ZongoNews has, in a way, made a name here at the G20 Summit here in Hamburg.
Yeah, ZongoNews, most of the people ask ZongoNews, where is it? So we try to explain to them the meaning of Zongo and how it counts, how the ZongoNews come about in the media, why ZongoNews. And they were so happy. Even now, some people say, no, they have to come to our office here in Germany and to see how we work, how they can work with us together in the near future.
How about the team back home in Ghana, the ZongoNews team? Are they also following events here?
Yeah, today I can say the team back home, especially those in Ghana, because we have team in Nigeria, but those in Ghana today, they play a very, very key role. Try to update people in different language, in Hausa, English, Twi, so that those who cannot speak English can understand it in Hausa. Those who cannot speak Hausa can understand it in Twi. So those back home did a great job.
In which languages is the ZongoNews going to be broadcasting in future?
I think we discuss in different languages, especially English, Hausa, because Hausa is one of the international languages. And we are trying to talk to our South Africa, because today someone said they want to hear something from Swahili. We said, okay, we will try to look, but at this stage we are looking for English, Hausa, maybe Twi, and other languages. But it's open for all languages because we want the people to understand it. ZongoNews, the platform is meant for education. So in different language, we try to educate our people, the whole Africa, to understand what is going on in the globe.
English, Hausa, Twi, and how about Ga and other northern languages in Ghana?
Yeah, we asked our people, the Ga speaking and the Dagwani and other things, to join us so that we can work together and we program things from different language so that the other people from different language can understand it also well.
Tomorrow, Africa is going to feature prominently here at the G20 in Summit in Hamburg. And migration is one of the key issues tomorrow, where the leaders are going to discuss. What do you say to that?
I think it's a very, very important topic. It's good that we have this topic in Germany. During this immigration crisis, Germany has taken more of the refugees than any country. And I work with the refugees and still working with the refugees. And I understand the danger of crossing that Mediterranean of tears, as the United Nations Secretary was said. Because there are a lot of risk in it. So it's good for them to talk about it and find a way of helping such victims or innocent women and children who come across such a terrible situation.
Well, some other media colleagues here have been asking, so Zongo News has been reporting from Germany, with offices in Hamburg and Berlin, and an office in Accra. And that, what other activities is Zongo News involved in terms of educating the people on health issues?
I think Zongo News is not only reporting the issue. We have also projects like trying to help the people in terms of health issue, like we did this year in Ghana, free medical health screening. And we are still planning also to organize in different parts of Africa. But now we are focusing in Ghana for the meantime because lack of materials and all these things. But I think next year also we are planning to organize a conference or seminar or workshop to educate the African journalists about the importance of health so that they can also spread it different countries.
I see. So you did a free medical screening in Ghana.
Yeah.
And did you do it with medical doctors in Ghana?
Yeah, we have some medical doctors. We talk to them and they decide to volunteer and help out. So, like I always tell them when I was in Ghana, I told them it's like we are going to prepare a jollof rice because it's this. And somebody has a rice, the another person has tomato, the another person has something. We gather the whole ingredients, then we prepare delicious food. So Zongo News has a platform to promote the education, and the medical doctors say, okay, we are going to help, especially to say one of the female medical doctors from Nima, the Zongo community, she helped a lot. So I think when we come together, that is why Zongo News is saying, let us work together. Because when we come together, we can do a lot. We can build a very, very better community or environment where we can wake up and feel happy, you know. I think
tomorrow, apart from migration, health in Africa is going to feature prominently on the agenda of the leaders here at the G20.
Yeah.
What do you hope will come out of it?
I think I'm hoping for positive because, you know, like the Bundeskanzler, I think she's not interested to help Africa, especially also about women and health. So she's doing her best to support Africa. When I hear this afternoon, she said, Africa is our neighbor, the Europeans' neighbor, and the Europe must do their best to help Africa. So I think it's a very positive statement. When I heard it, I said, indeed, we are moving forward.
What are some of the critical challenges facing African countries in terms of health issues?
I think in terms of health issues, that we should invest more in our health sector. Because last time I think Zongo News Berlin interviewed one of the African leaders. He said he was surprised the health director of the hospital was sick. From Uganda, they have to take him to different countries.
From Mozambique?
From Mozambique. So if you're supposing he invested in it and we look and work towards it, we don't have to move outside. We can get the treatment within our own community, and the money for transportation can be used also for different activities. Like he gave Cuba example. Cuba is one of the best places for medicine, and they always receive their treatment there. I think we should concentrate there and invest also there.
So you will urge the leaders tomorrow, when discussing health issues on the African continent, to look also in these areas to assist the African governments to improve their medical facilities.
That's it. You know, I think after discussion, what I will say to my great leaders who are doing their best to push us is they should always try to translate the words into action. Because we can say something without action, nothing will happen. So it's better always after discussion, we should translate it. And the youth are ready, especially Zongo News, we have a lot of youth who are ready to do things to help in often. They are university graduates, they are sitting there without work. So we can use and tell them, okay, let's work together. So the leaders can invest in them so that they have kind of job and stay home instead of passing through the sea to come to Europe. So I think when we invest there, they can do something to stay home.
Yeah, apart from health, as we said earlier on migration,
Yeah.
According to authorities here at the G20, a lot of African youth are unemployed.
Yeah.
And this will feature prominently also tomorrow at the summit.
Yeah.
What do you hope to see come out of it in terms of educating the youth back home in Africa?
I think I'm hoping for positive. Always hoping for positive. But what I would say is that we don't have to wait until we get much money to invest. Like if you see the project of ZongoNews, we started doing things slowly. And we started to train some of the youth so that they can get some job to do. So we get equipment, materials, we send them home, just a little thing, give it to a few, maybe 10 people or 10 of the kind of youth, and ask them to use it and do something. So I think when we start slowly and gather them in group, within short time we can do something. So the best thing is we should start investing small, not to wait until we get big money and say we are going to gather the whole. No, we should do it slowly. So we urge the leaders to do it that way and also to support such kind of project that we are doing in Africa.
Yeah. I understand the minister for the newly created Minister for Inner City Development and Zongos is going around the country in Ghana trying to collate views from the people in the Zongo communities.
Yeah.
What are some of the projects that you think he should also look at?
I think once I was listening to the program during the vetting to see what he can do, what he wants to do, or what he intended to do. I would say the Minister for Zongo and Inner City should focus more on the youth. And try also to educate the youth. Because if you educate the youth, I think the work will be more easier for him. And also he should work with the media. There are some youth stay somewhere, but when you work through media, they will understand what you are doing. Like right now, when you ask some of the youth back home, they don't know about the minister. They don't know what is he doing. Until now, ZongoNews is telling them, the minister is doing this or this. We try to update them. I think it's very, very important the minister should work with the media. The true media, you can penetrate all the corners and do it. And we are there also to help him to achieve what he wants.
Yeah, I understand ZongoNews is not part of the Ministry for Zongo and Inner City Development.
No, so
but is ZongoNews Radio going to work with the minister to advance the agenda set up for the ministry?
I think some people think ZongoNews is part of the. They say no. ZongoNews was there before even the government came in power. And we are working with all the community, with the ministry and other ministry. I think we are ready to work with him and try to promote the activity and all the kind of ministry also to let them achieve the aim that they want to do in terms of development. Yeah.
Now, if you have a wish list for the Minister for Zongo and Inner City Development in Ghana, what will be the top of the list?
At the top of the list, I would say education. Because somebody will say education. When we look at the education, it's not necessarily mean that when someone go to school and finish the university, like one great thinker said, there's a difference between going to school and education. We should try to let the people understand the reality, what is going on and other things. So when they understand it, if you talk, they listen to you. But if they don't understand, you don't educate them about the issue, they will think like, in Ghana language, they will say, Womo Kasadodo. Or Sunamagana Diwa. I think you should educate the youth and try to invest more in the youth. So I think if you do that, the rest will be easy. Yeah.
So thank you very much for your time, and we wish you the best here at the G20 Summit in Hamburg.
Thank you very much for having me, and I thank ZongoNews for the great work you guys are doing also here in Africa.